So I'm mostly making this for my own benefit, but who knows? Maybe somebody out there will listen. Maybe it's pretty boring. Maybe it's helpful. Uh, but I started jujitsu in 2015. Like I think it was March 14th of 2015. So I've been at this for almost 8 years now, and I'm pretty frustrated with my progress. So that's kind of the summary of where I am with it. Um, but yeah, I started in 2015 at I think you would call it just a traditional kind of old school jujitsu place where you bow when you go onto the mat, and it's almost all gi. I think about halfway through my time there, we had a started having a no gi class on Sundays. Then after about after exactly 4 years of being there, I went to another school across town, and um, it was also mostly gi at first, and then we started doing more and more no gi, and had a more of a it was a much smaller school, and it had more of a blue collar feel to it, I would say. um, Definitely, I'd say the highest quality teaching that you could possibly ask for. um, but the pandemic kind of ruined that experience for me because and I respect the owners' um, wishes about keeping everyone healthy and all of that. So that wasn't an issue, but it's just that terrible timing. The pandemic ruined um, my experience there. But hey, um, it killed almost a million Americans, and I wasn't one of them. So I ought to be happy for that. But anyway, there, I really struggled to come to class like I should. At the first place, I was coming to class there for a while. I was coming like 4 or 5 times a week, and I was really starting to feel good about my progress. And then I started at the other place. I started coming, twice a week, maybe all the way down to like once a week, one and a half times a week. I started also doing they had a he had a integrated martial arts class where it was like this stick fighting, I guess you would call it, like Filipino type martial art. I forget the name of it, but it was pretty useful though. It definitely helped with hand-eye coordination and that sort of thing, and I also learned how to punch and how to kick. Just the very basics of it, and so that was really that was really beneficial. But um, overall, my time there wasn't good just because of poor attendance and some things was going through in my personal life. Um, but as far as the level of teaching there, I would say it was like a 10 out of 10. um, but it definitely was, hindered by some of my personal issues, and then also the pandemic. And I moved to 2 hours east, and this was back in April of last year. Um, Started going to a school here, a 10th Planet school, which means it's almost entirely no gi, and it's actually similar in a way to the school that I left back, in my hometown, because it has a very much a blue collar feel to it. And what I like about both of those schools is that I felt like the instructor at this current place and the instructor at the old place, I feel like they were always trying to learn and always trying to get better and pass that information along to their students. At the first place, while that head instructor was and is very, very, very good at jujitsu, I don't think he had the passion to teach. I don't think he had the passion to uh, develop his content more. Um, and so that was one of the major failings of that school. But it was still a great place, still a great school. I, if that's the only place in town that I could go to, I'd be pretty satisfied with it. But um, the thing though was that that the school didn't teach leg locks and that sort of thing, leg locks and rubber guard and all these different things that are, I suppose you'd say, are not old school. And so there was a reluctance from that instructor to teach that, and I think that that's very much to that school's detriment. Um, but but still, my experience there was actually very good, and it's not a bad school. But the other two places, I do prefer them, just because of you know they're kind of facing reality and going into the um, newer styles of jujitsu, I guess you could say. Uh, so last year, 2022, I went an hour and I'm sorry, 1.5 times a week to jujitsu class, and that is not enough. That is just not enough. And this year, except for 1 week where I went twice, every other week I've been going 3 times a week, and I can definitely tell a difference. I mean, that's literally almost double what I was going before. I could definitely tell a difference. And I have a style of learning where, unfortunately, I don't learn very well in class, and that's been a big problem for me. And that's why I've been so slow to learn. I have to learn based on videos, YouTube videos, and I now have the Grappler's Guide and also the Striker's Guide, which I haven't used a whole lot, but the Grappler's Guide is just fantastic. It's just amazing. Um, yeah, I'm just the type that I have to watch a video or read a book. Um, Being in class just does not work very well for me as far as learning, and that's been to my uh, great detriment. Because anybody can see me and see that have been doing it this long and would say, "Wow, I can't believe you are that you suck that bad." But I'm I'm hopeful that with going, being able to go 3 times a week now, and trying to be more disciplined about learning at home, I'm pretty hopeful that I'll be able to overcome all of this and come out, on top, where I'm advancing, where I'm developing my game, and I think I can. Anybody can go to a class and learn the sport and do really well and dominate. Um, Not anybody, but anybody can handle the position that puts you in. Um, but I think it takes a lot of character. I think it takes a certain type of person to struggle again and again and just be horrible for years on end and keep going and just never give up and just, until they finally have a breakthrough. And I think I'm on the verge of that. And so all of that, all those setbacks, all of the difficulty, all of the struggling through my depression and job situations, and still managing to go, even if only once a week or whatever. Um, I think if I can overcome that and still keep going, then I've set myself up well for success. Whereas if somebody just comes into this and does really well from the beginning, maybe they get tired of it and they just get bored with it. So, maybe my plight will be a blessing in disguise. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. But it's it, it's been a great experience, though. It's very humbling. I think anybody should think of. Most men, seems like, for whatever reason, think that they can fight um, and that's often not the case. And the advantage that I have is I know that I can't fight, and so, um, but being able to learn, and you feel like you're totally not doing well and you're lost, but then you go up against someone who is new and they're bigger than you and stronger than you, and you're able to, basically not get submitted by them no matter how hard they try, and possibly even submit them. It's that's a good feeling. So it makes you realize that you're making progress. Um, I did two tournaments and I'm a total of 0 for 8. So I've struggled in that, and hopefully that changes. I believe it will. This school that I'm at now, they really like to push competition. So that will probably lead to me doing a competition or two. And, hopefully I do well. It would be great to finally win a match, and I think that that's in my future. I think the hardest part is finding the motivation to uh, like right now, I should actually be doing my home study of jujitsu, going over those videos and learning the moves. And I'm not doing it. I'm, procrastinating as usual. So this is the hardest part, is just getting over that desire to procrastinate and not do what I'm supposed to do. I used to have so much discipline when I was, a college student, and I kind of rebelled against all of that. Um, but I do have the momentum going in my direction now, as far as um, attending class 3 times a week. Now it's like, well, I can't miss this class, or else I won't go. I won't be able to do 3 a week, and that'll ruin my whole average for the year. So yeah, I've got a lot of momentum built in the direction of attending classes. So now I just need to get some momentum built in the direction of doing my home study of jujitsu. But I feel like I'm rambling, but anyway, another thing I'd say is uh, my biggest obstacle is it's like I'm very passive. It's like I don't go on the attack. I don't roll like I'm mad, and there's obviously some good to that, but I've been able to avoid the injury and stuff like that. But um, I, I think in order to develop, I'm going to have to, go on the attack and that sort of thing. So hopefully I can, you know, discipline myself to learn more at home and continue to go at least 3 times a week, and hopefully that will lead to my success. But anyway, this is just a short little documentation of my progress, and mostly for my own benefit, but hopefully it helps someone out there. Please don't leave any mean comments. All right, thank you.